Hey guys, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I am showing you guys my new edible image printer. I have an edible image printer video on my page from a few years ago. And that printer, it was so great at first, but then it just ended up giving me so many problems, so I had to replace it, and I replaced it with this one. I actually got this printer back in 2021. It's currently 2023. I just hadn't gotten around to making an updated video. But like I said, it's currently 2023. I got this in 2021 and I love this printer. I haven't had any issues with this printer. I will say I didn't like how it looks. I wish it was a little bit prettier, but that's besides the point because it's just so great. It doesn't even matter. So this footage is just me setting up the whole printer. I'm not going to talk through this part because their website has really easy to follow instructions. You can just kind of see what I'm doing. But I wanted to touch on what I look for when I'm looking for an edible image printer. So the first thing that I like to look for is refillable cartridges. This one has built-in refillable cartridges. And then I just buy the ink off Amazon. And it is so much cheaper than having to buy cartridges every time they run out. Second thing that I look for is that it is $200 or less. Personally, I don't think you need to spend more than $200 on a printer for it to be great. And this one, I think, is right at the $200 mark, and it is amazing. Like I said, I haven't had problems with it. The third thing that I like to look for is that it can print on cardstock. So we're not printing on cardstock, we're printing on the frosting sheets, but the frosting sheets can be on the thicker side. So that's why I like to make sure that the printer can handle something that's on the thicker side, like cardstock. These 4 bottles are the edible ink that I like to use. I get them off Amazon. I also have some syringes here, which I'm using to fill up the cartridges. But these syringes were so small, and it just took forever. It was really messy, so I don't recommend getting these exact ones. I would look for some bigger ones. But basically, you're just going to fill up your syringe with the ink, and then you're going to place the ink inside of this round plastic object. You can also pour the ink directly from the bottle into the opening, but just be really careful because it can get super messy. On the outside of the printer, you can see the ink level, which I really love because it's like you're not guessing of when you need to replace your ink. So as you can see, my hands got extremely dirty. So I would recommend using gloves, and make sure you have paper towels nearby because this process just got really messy. But I think that was just because my syringes were so small. So you're just going to fill in all 4 of your cartridges. The black cartridge is all the way on the left side by itself. And then once you're done filling in all your cartridges, you're just going to close the printer, do whatever the screen says, and then you're going to wait about 5 minutes so that the printer can finish setting up. And then you're basically ready to print. So the instructions are going to tell you to install their app, and it's also going to tell you to print from their app. But that's just not necessary. You do need to install the app so that you can do all of these steps to set up the printer, but you don't need to print from the app. So these are the frosting sheets that I like. I've used quite a few different ones and I really love these. So every frosting sheet has a plastic backside to it, and for this printer you want to make sure that the plastic backing is not facing you. So this print that you're watching me do right now was my very first print on this printer. And in my opinion, it looks really great, but the colors were a little bit toned down. I just wish that they were brighter. The fix for that is to change the paper settings on your printer. You're going to change the settings to cardstock, and your images will be so much brighter. So here's a good example of using the cardstock setting versus not using the cardstock setting. The one on the left is with the cardstock setting, and as you can see, it's just a lot bolder. And then all these other images that I've inserted are just some images that I've printed with this printer. I think that's it for this video, guys. I'm going to link everything down below. I'll see you guys next time.